Welcome, everyone, to the very first, or inaugural, if that's not redundant, episode of Rancid Nuts. And I am one of your hosts, Mertis, and I am joined by...
I'm Alan. I gotta ask though, Mertis, that's Mertis, right?
Yeah.
That's how you spell that?
Yeah.
So it's Mertis.
It's Mertis. It's French.
Well, yeah, but it's spelled Mertis. We're in America.
Okay. All right.
Just saying.
No, I can see that we have issues with this, but we're starting off the very first podcast, and you and I are already going at it. This is not.
Yeah.
This doesn't bode well. But I think just for the benefit of everybody else, just for the moment, if you could accept that I am. It's not just my name. It's who I am.
Right.
This is me. I am Mertis.
Yeah. All right. It's Mertis. I can live with that, I guess.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And it also leads into what our advantage is over any other podcast. No podcast ever is going to have both a serial killer and a transvestite polygamist. In fact,
I will say no one else is probably going to aim for that one. That's for sure.
I don't think any. No, I think it's untouchable. So now that everyone knows who we are, we could absolutely not be luckier to kick off our inaugural podcast of Rancid Nuts than to have our first guest. Granted, I might have lied to make all of this happen, but...
Wait, you lied to him?
It's a lot of lie. Everybody does a little bit, I guess. Unfortunately, this lie put me in a bad light, but then again, I still consider that my luck has changed entirely. If that's as bad as it gets, I'm in good shape.
Well, the cat's out of the bag. Our special guest tonight is none other than Robert Downey Jr. That's a mouthful.
I don't know why I have 3 names. I didn't used to have so many.
Well, thanks for showing up. You probably remember the format in your sleep.
Well, it's really everyone for themselves.
I'm really honored to have someone, such an amazing career. You stop by, say a few words on your cell phone. It's commitment. And you guys must go way back.
Love it. Well, I'm glad you think of me in this light. I think there's look, back in the 80s when you were 4, I used to work here and do stuff, and it was a little bit different. It seemed just kind of dreary, and maybe the food wasn't all that great yet. Depends on the temperature outdoors. Now, it's kind of like this big hub of planet Earth, and there's just so much incredible and exciting stuff going on here.
I appreciate your defense, but Alan, he's just a little...
Which is okay. He's green. He's right out of the box. He's a comedian, so he was probably just trying to come off good in the interview. I'm glad they're picking up the hotel bill here at lovely Claridge's. I will answer your question in earnest. It is... I'm really grateful. That's all I have to say. And sometimes I forget that I am, and I start acting like, my station in life having been lifted, people need to respond to me in the manner I see fit. And then underneath that is just probably the fear of losing it, So it is to keep my feet on the ground, everything will be fine.
Oh, wow. Just wow. Were you two, really close? Like, swapping bodily fluids close?
Jesus, man. Look, I'm so sorry. So sorry.
Don't worry about it. No reason for anybody to be ashamed here today.
Oh, did you?
I don't want to say only with him. He might have been busy doing something else, but it was on his property. I mean, that just says it all, doesn't it? I couldn't be happier.
Well, that was pretty much the end of any career either of us had coming in the future.
Sure, I just think you blew Mertis' mind.
I think it's always embarrassing to show someone that you're your friend and you love them in public. So I think he was probably a little surprised. We've taken turns embarrassing each other for many decades now, and coming to each other when we'd embarrassed ourselves. So this is just an old routine for us. Well, the funny thing is, if you're at the front of a bloodline of trauma and disrespect and sending up something well before it's time or okay to, then it's kind of it's bad form. And it was more just me wondering, is a general audience ready to not find this more offensive than it is entertaining? Because it's about the fact that it's the 21st century and he's an idiot.
Well, thank you very much for dropping by and totally putting me in the eye socket.
Sure.
And we'll be sure to invite you back and promote your biography, which now is about all you've got left. And on that note, let's take a little break for the moment for our first sponsor, which is the Wyalusing Mortuary Association.
Hi, I'm Alan Crabtree, and I'm just here to let you know that, places like this graveyard here are just getting filled with freshly dead. And it's a waste. There's still a lot of use we can get from our loved ones. I mean, there's nothing, a little bit of bleach and some elbow grease can't do, to make them nice and presentable. So, I just want you to know that we can still use our recently departed loved ones. We need to make a change. Thank you.
This portion of the podcast is just for kids. As a matter of fact, we got a couple in here because it is the Christmas special. It's that time of year.
Yeah.
And tonight, we are going to do a special reveal for the kids about Santa Claus.
All right. So we're just, gonna sit here and fill these kids' minds with all these lies about this fictional character who brings you candy and toys. If you're good, that's a bunch of bull words they would believe. That's just
Alan, this is for kids. Remember?
Yeah.
And I want to tell each and every one of the children out there listening that Mr. Crabtree is a serial killer and he is mentally deranged. And the only reason why he's not in an institution currently is because no one's ever been able to get adequate evidence to convict him. Mommy and Daddy will explain conviction for you, but Mr. Crabtree does not know what he's talking about. Santa Claus is alive, he's real, and he's going to come to your house, break into your chimney, and leave lots of toys for you under the tree, unless you're from a economically underprivileged neighborhood, in which case I'm not sure what Santa's going to do for you. But in fact, before we do the big reveal for the kids, I think in light of recent events, it's probably a good idea for us to do just a special little section just for the black kids.
All
the little tar babies.
Yeah.
And I just really had a message. There's not a whole lot you can say, but I just wanted to say for their Christmas this year, I wanted to address them personally and just let them know that, look, kids, stay in your house until you're real old and you die of like leukemia at 80 or something, and don't ever go outside. And if you hear a knock on the door, especially if they say police, run. But for the most part, stay inside the house. Don't go outside. But anyway, that concludes my advice for the little tar babies.
All right.
I hope you felt that was appropriate, Alan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's great advice. I mean, sounds safe.
Yeah. And anyway, now for the big...
Yeah, I mean, before you do that, I just want to take a second and apologize to the children. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to try to dash your hopes or anything. I have problems, and I'm sorry. But, I don't know, what is it that you wanted to tell them about Santa?
Well, and this I got to get. Now, I always lose it. I want to say it right. Here it comes.
Hermaphrodite.
Thank you. The big reveal, kids, about Santa Claus is he's a hermaphrodite.
Wow.
This should not, if you're not bothered by a guy coming to your house and breaking in through your chimney.
Yeah.
And then coming in and eating food in your kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
and then leaving presents out that elves made,
Yeah.
and then going back up the chimney and getting in the buggy with
Yeah.
the reindeer
The sleigh.
things. Sleigh,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah,
No
buggy,
problem.
sleigh. But if you're not bothered by that,
Yeah.
then it shouldn't bother you that Santa Claus has both parts, because Santa, when he got older, decided that he liked both parts. I
Yeah.
don't know if it was because he could get more dates on Friday night or what, but
Yeah.
he liked both parts and he didn't want to get rid of one. And so Santa has both. And that's the big reveal. And
All right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that we've given the kids a really, really great start on Christmas and life. Don't you think so?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's advice you can take to the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's take another break, and we're going to hear from another one of our fine advertisers. The good folks over at Viagra have a message just for women.
It's just you and the guy you met at the bar last week. He called. He said his wife was going to be out of town. So, there you are, in a hotel room run by the Indian Mafia, with no Wi-Fi or cable TV. Then, erectile dysfunction happens. If it isn't because of heart disease or diabetes, chances are it's because I'm more attractive than you are. And the guy you met at the bar was drunk the first time you met him. But there's a quick and easy fix for this problem. It's what wives who've let themselves go have to feed their boys. Viagra. You don't have to be a beauty queen. It gives them rock solid hard-ons. Viagra. It's the new alcohol.
Viagra has several side effects you need to be aware of, including dizziness, headache, blushing, or stomach upset may occur. Vision changes, such as increased sensitivity to light, blurred vision, or trouble telling blue and green colors apart. Any of these effects persist or worsen. Tell your doctor or pharmacist is promptly to reduce the risk of dizziness, lightheadedness. Get up slowly by rising from a sitting or a lying position. Sexual activity can put extra strain on your heart, especially when you have heart problems. If you have heart problems and experience any of these serious side effects while having sex, stop and get medical help right away. Severe dizziness, fainting, chest, jaw, left arm,
Hi, everybody, and welcome back. And once again, I'm not going to let my producer bother me. I got to say, I think that, Christmas is, what is it? That by the time this podcast comes out, it's going to be, 3 weeks away, Alan? Is that right?
That sounds about right.
Yeah. And, there's a lot of build up to Christmas. And I think it's really important that we all remember, who was born on Christmas Day.
So
And
Christmas is a birthday.
Yeah, it's a really important birthday for somebody.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah. Yeah, what's his name?
Moshe Diane? No,
No, it's not right. Is it Mel Brooks?
no.
Someone that did movies, right?
Yeah, Billy Crystal? No, wait a minute.
Wait.
This is America. You know, we couldn't have a holiday after a Jew. I mean, it's got to be
That's
something
true. That's true.
something whiter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
I know somebody important was born on Christmas Day.
yeah.
Chrysler?
No.
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 Uh,
Phil Collins. No, it couldn't
is
be
it-
Phil Collins.
Nah, not Phil Collins. Christopher Reeve, maybe?
Christopher Reeve. No, I think he was born like in the spring or some crap like that, wasn't he?
Yeah, you're right.
Hamlet. Is it Hamlet's birthday?
Is he even real?
I mean, he is a fictional character.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, the Shakespeare
like
dude,
Santa
like,
Claus,
dude.
like Santa
Yeah,
Claus.
yeah.
You're thinking like Santa Claus.
Yeah, something like that. Like does Shakespeare ever give anyone's birthday in a play? I'm not good at Shakespeare.
Well, I'm pretty good at it, but I don't.
Was it Shakespeare that was born?
I don't think it was Shakespeare either. On
Yeah.
Christmas, the British would be more religious, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
John the Baptist. What do you
Sounds
think?
close. But I don't think it's him. Martin Luther, maybe?
Martin Luther King Jr.
No, the
senior?
dude. The
Senior?
Martin Luther nailed all the things
Oh,
that were in the
the
church.
guy that nailed the crap on the door.
Yeah. It
Um,
might be something churchy. They've been around for a while.
Dick Murdoch, I suppose, would not be.
It could. I don't think so.
Because I got to tell you, Martin Luther doesn't really resonate with me.
Yeah,
but
me neither.
this has got to be somebody bigger. This is a very, very important day. Someone like Humphrey Bogart. It's
Maybe,
like that.
I
big.
mean, maybe Hedy Lamarr. I mean, she was hot and she's a chick, and it's a holiday, so it's probably.
Wait a minute. It goes back to the same problem, Alan. This is America. A chick?
That's right. I wasn't thinking.
They're
maybe
just
FDR?
objects. They're just objects.
I know, but
Like little balls on
Yeah.
a Christmas tree.
what about FDR?
That feels kind of close. I was just
Yeah.
thinking Karl Rove. What do you think about that?
That sounds right to me, actually.
I think it's
see
either
that.
got to be Karl Rove or Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe if you're older, it's Bogart. But
Yeah.
I'm thinking Karl Rove because they both kind of seem like they might have been, when they were first born, really important children.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
your birthday is so significant that
Yeah.
we're going to build literally an entire economy off of your
Yeah.
birthday. I'm thinking one of those two. I mean,
That sounds
let's
right.
face it, they both behave like they think maybe they're God or something.
Yeah. That's true.
So,
That's true. Very, very
well,
omnipotent.
so we're pretty much in agreement that it
Yeah.
was either Karl Rove or Humphrey Bogart was born on Christmas Day.
Yeah, that sounds like it. I mean, I'd celebrate a holiday for one of them.
Yeah, I would too. Especially Carl.
Yeah.
He's
Definitely.
kind of cute.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we were able to work that out because this is the biggest day of the year for
Yeah.
most
And honestly,
retailers.
If we didn't figure it out, it was going to bother me for like weeks.
Yeah, it would have bothered me for a long time too. And again, it is the biggest day of the year for major retailers, and
And I know it.
and we should honor these transactions. And I think it's
Yeah.
very, very important that everyone, young and old, remember the real meaning of Christmas, what it's really all about. I think
Oh, yeah.
that's everything. And if you've got that part right, then the hell with all the
Yeah.
rest. You
Oh,
agree?
Definitely.
Well,
it's all about commerce.
Thank you.
Is
Thank
that why
you.
they call it Christmas? Commerce? Christmas?
It's very
Is it
close.
close?
It's very close.
Yeah.
I have to think about that
Probably.
one. Let's
Yeah.
think about that one. That one there is like, I think that one's what do they call those, think tanks? That's something they ought to
Yeah.
throw to a think tank.
Yeah.
Instead of like,
Yeah.
why do frogs have webbed feet? Or
Yeah.
do frogs have webbed feet?
Yeah, they do.
Okay. Well, I think I want to know why frogs have webbed feet, but I think that we should prioritize things
Yeah.
appropriately.
Put the commerce back in Christmas.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel it right here, man.
Yeah. Oh,
Anyway, I really enjoyed nailing down what this was all about, and I think it's time for another commercial, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Hey everybody, welcome back. We are so happy to have survived this long. Yeah, I mean, just getting even halfway through a podcast is like, God bless you. But we are very fortunate here to have not only the only podcast with a transvestite polygamist, but we've also got the only podcast with a serial killer.
Mm-hmm.
And then if that wasn't enough, we've got Overhead.
We do have the new Overhead.
We have
It's
Overhead.
so nice.
And I mean, you don't really have to do anything. It just,
Oh, it's great. It's great. I honestly don't know how we did anything before.
I can't remember either. I mean, you and I, we go back a long way.
Yeah.
What was that podcast we were last on, the last one?
Oh, yeah, the International Community of Outdoor Ornament and Erection Enthusiasts of America podcast.
That would be the Gazebo podcast?
Yeah. Something like that, I guess. I don't know. I
Yeah.
like mine better.
I do like yours better.
Yeah.
I don't know how appropriate it is for children, but they're just going to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
That, by the way, was a sad chapter for both of us, although I bit the pavement before you.
Yeah.
I guess I got to come out and confess, they fired me because they wanted me to draw a younger demographic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's understandable. I mean, everybody goes through that. Letterman went through it. Leno went through it. Not that I'm by any means comparing myself to either one of those two, or for that matter, comparing you, Alan, to Paul Schaefer. But
Yeah.
we had a great gig together there, but they just came in one day and I was naked and dripping wet, and they told me, you're out of here. We need a younger crowd. And that really bothered me for a long time because we were pulling real heavy in the 18 to 25. So I took that to mean that they wanted like preschoolers.
Something like that, yeah.
I don't know what they wanted, but I don't know whether they were cruising for people to groom or what. But
Yeah,
I mean,
when they talked to me about it, they mentioned the words young and hip a lot. And it made me think they didn't know what they were going after either.
so that's what they said to you about me.
Yeah.
I know you stayed on after they fired me.
Yeah.
How did you get to where you are now?
Well, it was a good short run after you got the boot. I was, just on vacation. Drunk in Denmark. Got in a boat. Yeah, I was in Denmark on vacation. Just drunk off my ass, because that's the definition of a vacation. Hopped in a boat. Thought I was just gonna go, across the bay or something. They got all the fjords and stuff up there. I didn't know what I was doing, honestly. Ended up rowing all the way to Norway. But on my phone, I just had the Wikipedia page for Denmark still up, so, kept shouting, oh, I want to see, the Museum of Tycho Brahe and stuff like that. Turns out Norwegians are pretty damn patriotic.
Really?
They love their country, they love their people. You run in there yelling about a Danish mathematician from, the late 1500s, they freak out. Them and the Danes don't get along well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think the thing that really got them, God, they just got so pissed. And I honestly don't remember doing this at all. I was in Oslo, still drunk, still getting chased by cops, and spray painted, Copenhagen sucks, on some church doors.
Oh, wow. And is that why you got fired?
Yeah, the backlash from that. That's why I got fired.
You got fired for, what was this again? Spray painting?
Yeah, Copenhagen sucks, on the doors of a church in Oslo.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And you were just complaining about the taste of the chewing tobacco.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm very, very honored and very pleased to have you working with me now.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you, me, Overhead, what else do we need?
yeah, I got to say this. If you people out there haven't tried it yet, get some overhead. You must have it.
It's the smartphone of podcasting, really.
Exactly. I think that's probably the best way to think of it. What was it I heard today? It was like a combination of Keats, Chaucer, and iPod 4. Yeah, that's a pretty good.
It pretty much nails it.
Yeah, I think so. Well, good to have you here. Look forward to many more. I think this would be a great time to jump in now on a break for one. Well, they're all new sponsors at this point.
Yeah.
The trick is keeping them. But let's go ahead and take a break now and salute and say hello to our newest sponsor, Red Man's Chewing Tobacco. We'll be back in just a minute. Hi, kids. We'd like to welcome a brand new sponsor for us. It's Red Man Chewing Tobacco. And we believe very strongly here on Rancid Nuts that anything that we recommend to you, that we use it ourselves. And since Alan was already successfully using Viagra, it was only fair that I use Red Man Chewing Tobacco. And to be very honest, I've never used it before, but it smells pretty good. And, well, we're going to use it right now, and I'm sure I'm going to love this. This is wonderful. So, I put a lot in there? Okay. Hold on. It's not, ooh, tiny. Tiny more. Over here. There's I got a tiny flavor to it. And, very tiny. Kind of like, it's like hints of citrus, almost. And then you taste the tobacco. This is really, more. Okay. Yeah. And you right in there. And then you let the natural juices kind of seep out. And just go down your throat. And it's, well, it's delicious. Try it. Hurry. Sometimes you just can't stop dancing. Welcome back, America and Armenia. We are so pleased to be at the very last section of our podcast tonight. It's absolutely amazing that we made it this far, because I have some diseases that are genetically wired. Yeah, and by all means, leave your comments, and we'll read them.
Yeah.
Saves us having to write anything. So we really appreciate it. But anyway, it's been wonderful to have all three of you here, and it's been great working with Alan again. And we look forward. We're going to come back somewhere in February, somewhere in that area.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, we're gonna come soon as the little rat-like creature comes out of the ground. What's the thing called?
The groundhog.
The little. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
As soon as that thing comes up and sees its shadow or doesn't see its shadow, then we'll be back. And but anyway, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'd like to thank everyone involved. And until next time, just remember, overhead. Gotta have it. Overhead. All right. All right, Alan, I am tripping the light fantastic. And till next time, sir. Yeah, baby. See you later. Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa.
Go buy stuff. Go buy stuff.
Yeah, go buy stuff.
Yeah. That's what I do. Alright. What?
It's like, I don't have any intention of ever having a serious music career myself because, first of all, I'm too old, and you got to be young and gorgeous to do that.
Oh yeah.
And otherwise, forget it. We're not going to have anything to do with you. And I went through enough rejection years ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, when and I've told this joke before. You may have heard it, but it's not a joke. It's true. I am the lucky person right here to be rejected. I had my demo tape rejected by The Simpsons.
Oh man.
That hurts.
That's amazing.
That hurts.
Mhm.
That hurts.
I mean, I was always pretty targeted with what I did, you know, personally. I'd wear, you know, like a little skimpy half shirt, some spandex shorts. You know, bring him a cold beer and just cigarettes when he's sitting in the recliner, unwinding after a long day watching the game. I'd always got him in the mood and kind of let everyone else know what was going